Hey guys, welcome back. The UPS guy just stopped by within an hour or two ago and finally got my Tamiya 40 scale F-35C. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look inside the box. So here she is. Finally received it, the F-35C. Very hotly anticipated release. And here we go, the box. So just dropped off by UPS within an hour. So I want to get this done and up as I promised on my previous videos. Looking around the box, again, it's a pretty big box, hard to fit on the camera here. It's obviously 48 scale. Some various schemes there. We'll look at in more detail. Let's open this guy up for the first time. It did come in plastic, which I removed. And there we go. There's our box of parts. Typical Tamiya grey plastic. I did pull out the F-35A from my stash because there was some talk about this being finer detail, so I actually wanted to compare it, see if it really is. So we'll look at that in a minute. Various parts of plastic, all beautifully molded, as you expect from Tamiya. Again, we'll look at this all more detail in a wee while. Let's try and get through. Get the plastic out. We have a tinted canopy as well. I don't remember if we had one last one or not. Probably did. And all the paperwork. And my nice new cutting mat. See that? So thank you to one of my patrons who sent that to me. I think you're sick of seeing all my dirty cutting mats. So yeah, I think first time using this one, and I know as soon as I get into a model, I'll probably spill some paint or some glue on it. That's a tradition. Anyway, let's zoom in. I'll open this bag up. It's been a hot minute since I've done the F-35A. So I have a build series on my channel from a couple of years back. You can check it out. I did the aggressive version of this. I don't remember. I've seen some metal parts in here. I don't remember if they're in there. I think they were in the last kit. So a couple of metal rods. I think if I remember rightly, actually thinking about it, they were for the weapon bay doors. So we got a little bit of information here about the F-35C, which is obviously the carrier variant. The instructions we're going to look at in a minute. Just a tip sheet, usual. Actually, we'll look at the instructions right away. So, pretty thick book for the amount of plastic you get in this. Again, the F-35C. And nice booklet form. And we're just going to run through this pretty quickly here. Options: have the wings folded or extended. We can have the canopy open or closed. Ladder down or up. And weapons bays doors open or closed. Gun pod optional. Arresting hook door. Okay, so here's the various different assembly options. I think really before you start the build, just want to read through this, figure out which way you want to go, and then mark the instructions accordingly so you're not going to get too confused here. Looks like we get a canopy mask too, which is nice. Different variants, 6 different versions. So again, A to F. So before you start your build, you want to pick which one you're going to do and just follow through again the right ladder for your right aircraft and straight into it. So I'm not going to spend too much time going through these, but you can kind of look at your own time. Assembly is going to be pretty much the same as what we did with the F-35A. Correction sheet here. Looks like a couple of decals were incorrect. So just correcting that. And also about page 32, the ladder assembly. There's, again, notes about that as well. So just be careful with that one. Intakes. Again, this thing goes absolutely beautifully. And the weapons bay, I remember before, is absolutely beautifully detailed as well. So ordnance, you got to select A, B, or C. This is where it gets a little confusing. I mentioned this before with Tamiya kits, where you got A to F for your variant, and then you got A to C for your weapons loadout. So it might be better if they redid like maybe 1, 2, 3 or some other way of numbering it. So just be careful if you see like the aircraft like logo next to it, that's your weapons loadout, and if you just see a square box, that's your variant. So a little confusing there, but if you're the new Tamiya kits. Pretty picking out if you want to do stealth mode, where it's all kind of closed up, and in there you got the air-to-air mode, you got a couple of sidewinders, or you got beast mode, which is pretty cool, just fully loaded up with all kinds of stuff. All right, going through here again, really detailed weapons bay. This was a highlight of the A when I built it. Not that you really see it because it's obviously underneath it. So this might be a candidate for in flight actually, because beautiful detail underneath. Put it on the put on an acrylic rod in the air, slight turn. You can actually see inside that weapons bay and all beautiful detail. Resting hook door. Obviously, this is all new stuff to the C because the A doesn't have a resting hook. Going through, again, I remember these go together absolutely beautifully. The exhaust nozzle onto the gear, beefed up, bigger gear for the carrier variant. Gun pod, if you're going with that layout, the beast mode version, which I'd probably be inclined to do, just fully load this thing out and look pretty cool, I think. And onto your weapons, you got what, GBU 31 JDAMs, you got the AIM 120C AMRAMs. Onto the weapons door, and as I just mentioned, these silver pieces, easy to lose, are the rods that go into the weapons door. Leading edges, flaps, we have more weapons, paveways, pylons, control surfaces, tails, wingtips. So here again, you're seeing, paying attention if you're going to have the wings extended or folded. Yeah, what I usually typically like to do with these kind of instructions before I start the build, just take out a Sharpie or a pen, say if I'm going to do it extended or the folded bits, just put a line through those so I don't get confused when I actually get through to building this. Do you have a pilot figure? I do remember from last time, you do get a carbon fiber decal to go on his helmet. That was an absolute nightmare to get on. It's so tiny and small, and try to get it conform around the curved surface was a pretty tricky, I think. So maybe just some, like, I don't know, like that dark iron kind of Tamiya paint, pretty similar color you could use instead. Seeing how this goes together, I just noticed this too. It just, yeah, the wingtip just slots in. So you could actually build both versions if you wanted to. So you can have folded or down, and you could just, they don't glue, looks like you don't really glue them, so you can just slot in. So if you want down and you have the up version, I'm guessing the only thing is maybe you don't have enough sidewinders or pylons. I mean, that's something to check, but you could definitely, yeah, it looks like you can interchange them. So if you want to change the display, you can suddenly have them up, or you can have it down, which is kind of nice. You're not kind of stuck to one or the other. At the end, adding the glare shield and the instrument panel should just be a decal. Pretty straightforward with this stuff. Quick tip with this using the decal: use some of this Mod Podge Super Gloss Brilliant Extreme. It's I've used this in many of my builds. It's a gloss, basically PVA glue, and what happens is it dries like glass. So if you put your decal on, and once it's set, toothpick, a little bit of this, wipe it over the top. When it dries, it'll give you that kind of glass lens, like kind of look. Okay, finally canopy, up or down. There's two different canopies. And wheel chocks. And there we go. Pretty straightforward there. Nothing too crazy. And onto the big sheets. This is probably real size, 48 scale, I'd imagine. So this is just the stencil guide. So all these are the same for all 6 markings. Sorry for the glare, it's a very shiny paper, but it's very cool color. So that's your stencils. And we have the squadron markings. Ugh, it's hard to fit in. All right, so what I've got this side, we'll start with B. So B is your VFA 97, the Warhawks. C is your VFA 125 Rough Raiders. D is your Sidewinders VFA 86. So you can see a difference there. on the tails. Okay, so far so good. Onto this side, A is, with a heart on there, is VFMA 311 Tomcats. So you have a Marine Squadron there. And F, finally, Black Knights, the Cagbird, VMFA 314. Another Marine version. Interesting. So there's 6 schemes there. Personally, I probably want to do a naval one. It's hard to pick. One, probably A, C, or D was one I'll go for. Maybe one with this guy on. D, the Sidewinders, is probably looking most attractive to me. Also, take a look online. The aftermarket people have gone out crazy on this one. I think Caracal decals and maybe Furball or Firetown decals have brought out sheets with basically every single squadron you think of on there. So if you want to build one of these and the squadron's not in the 6, no worries, you can easily find it. Okay, on to the decals. Okay, first sheet. There's your instrument panel. In this scale, I think it's more than adequate. I wouldn't rush out and buy Quinta Studios because there's no real buttons and stuff in this. So that's that one. We've got the mast set, Ancestral Edition, not die cut. You have to cut it out, which I don't know why Tamiya does that. With the cars, they're pre-cut. With the planes, you have to cut them out yourself. I guess maybe adding some extra complexity. Another thing is, if you'd like me to have a cricket machine or maybe a silhouette machine, you can just scan this in the computer and just plot it and cut it out. Die cut it yourself with a plotter. But generally, not that bad. A pair of scissors or a knife to cut these out. So that's your canopy masks. You have two sets, so maybe inside and out, or maybe just for both canopies, open and closed. And various ones for different lights there too, these tiny little guys, which is handy. Alright, some other stuff here. Got your like low vis squadron markings again, bottom here, and various panels. Some of these I'd probably be inclined to just mask and paint these. Something like that, obviously, I wouldn't, but some of these straight lines I'd probably just paint. No problem at all. All right, plastic time. Don't need to necessarily get this out of the packet, but this is your tinted canopy. I don't see any kind of, yes I do. There is a very slight seam across here. Oh, sorry, I'm not on the camera today. Across there and across here. Just needs a quick sanding out, no problem at all. Let's get straight into it. Let's look at the main upper fuselage section. Okay, it looks decent. So what I'm going to do is, let's bring in the A. You can see an idea of a size too between two different aircraft. See how different shape and size. So here's your A. So off the bat, you can see that's the full wings, whereas these have the wings extensions on there too. So you can definitely see the size difference here. Different in the back as well. Service detail wise, it's identical. So now I'm gonna forget which one's which, but yeah, there's no difference. I mean, it looks exactly the same. Both pretty well done. Is it too much raised? Absolutely, because in real life it's just tape. It's like millimeters thick. On scale effect on this, it's be centimeters thick. But having done my one over there, my completed one, built it and painted it, and it looks absolutely fine. And you know what? I'm just going to bring it over and show you. I don't think it's bad at all. So this is what the guy looks like when it's painted and finished. And you see it's, I think once it's painted, all detail looks absolutely fine. So no problems at all. Again, this is the A version, the Aggressor I did. Full build video on my channel. Lower fuselage. Again, looking absolutely fantastic. Interesting, nicely protected here, so you don't damage in the box. The front side section. Very cool. Intakes go together beautifully. Remember, not too much problem at all. Frame for the canopies, nice. And there's your various fan blades. Again, absolutely beautifully done. Right and left, so it's all nicely marked for you, so you know which side's which. Wheels looking good. There's the hinge or the join for the wings where they fold. Okay, clear parts. Just a few lenses and various parts there. Don't need to get those out. Pretty straightforward. And a match pair again, pylons and ordnance. Okay, here's one of the stars of the show, the beautiful weapons bay. See all that beautiful detail. So it'd be a shame to close it up. You kind of really want those weapon bay doors open, I guess, so you can see all this. Once it's painted, it does look pretty good. Very nice. Again, beautiful detail. Final bag. Here we go. So you got the cockpit tub. Again, not really much going on there with these modern jets. This is your bracket for the center section to hold the wings. Big chunky plastic, and your figure, which actually always paints up pretty well. His arms, and their face. Where is it? Trying to figure out which way it goes there. The face. Oh, looks like the actual face itself, separate to the helmet. You have to glue on. Instrument panel. And there, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. So there we go. F-35C from Tamiya. Beautiful looking kit. This can go together really well. Don't be deterred by the colors. Some people think it's plain, they want to build it. Check out some reference pictures. Some of these already, which may be an issue, are really rusting up and creating some corrosion on this half glass kind of surface. Especially with the salt water and the sea air and stuff. Definitely kind of rusting. So there's some really cool reference pictures out there. You can really go to town whether these guys, being Navy version, Marine version, and it's going to be a cool build. So there we go. That's the Tamiya 48 scale F-35C.